Own a business? You're gonna want to hear this.
If you own a business, you need Next Insurance. Type your business, select your plan,
Fucking
pay online,
ads.
and just
You
like that,
sons of bitches. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Behind the Edit. I forgot to mute the goddamn video in which the chat is being window captured, so you heard a little bit of an ad right there. Apologies. Don't know how many people are going to be here for this, but you know what? It's totally fine because we're going to have a good old-fashioned time. If you are watching here live and you do see yourself on the live chat, I see Pete Rich. What up, Pete? Yeah, feel free to ask some questions, whatever you want to ask. I'm here to answer them. Today, going to be taking you behind the edit of Pocket Watch, the most recent short film that we released here on Amateur Hour Films. It's going to be a good old time. We're going to have some fun, share some behind-the-scenes stuff, just like I did for Stage 4. If you have not seen the Stage 4 one, check it out. This is all exclusive to you patrons because y'all are awesome. This is just fun. This is fun to give you guys a little bit more behind-the-scenes, separate from, us doing like full-on making of. We obviously did a making of for most of our short films except for Pocket Watch. So this, more so than anything, you'll get some cool behind-the-scenes tidbits and hopefully a laugh or two along the way. Because what is this life unless, you're laughing? I don't know. But yeah, we're here on a Saturday. If you are watching live, hit me up in that live chat. I'll be talking to y'all. And if you're watching on the playback, leave a comment on the Patreon page, the actual post where this video is being portrayed. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. If you have any additional questions, I love talking to you guys. Hit that like button on the YouTube. The YouTube video doesn't really matter that much. Hit the like on the Patreon post, so that way I know you're interacting with these things. If you don't want to, be part of the live chat or anything like that, it does help out. Helps me get an idea of how many people are actually engaging in these things and whether or not to keep doing them. So, without further ado, Pocket Watch. Pocket Watch obviously shot this thing, wrote it, edited, all in quarantine. I wrote it probably in April or May. Went through a number of different drafts. It was originally called Pocket Monster because, one, I like Pokemon, but obviously it has nothing to do with Pokemon. But I just thought it was something kind of cool, so then we eventually just changed it to Pocket Watch because it's a lot more simple, and it also didn't confuse confuse anybody. Excuse me. And it went through like 7 or 8 drafts because it originally started. I originally kind of got the idea when I was like geocaching at the start of quarantine. I was just going to different locations, finding these little spots and whatnot, and it was originally going to start off as a geocaching. Like a YouTuber that does geocaches, and I've talked about geocaches before. It's like these little miniature scavenger hunts that you can kind of download an app for and stuff. And so it was going to start off like that, and then the main character finds a pocket watch, and inside the pocket watch there's like a little note that says, "Oh, don't take it," and then spooky shit happens. It was going to be like half found footage and then half standard, kind of like a regular short film where it's shot not like a found footage. And that just, we just started stripping away. Why make it so complicated? Just make it simple. He finds the watch. Creepy shit happens. Bad stuff happens to him in the end. And so that's kind of how it came to be. Here's the pocket watch. Spooky. This one actually, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this one actually doesn't work. I think it's still stuck on 307. So when I originally wrote the script, I just put down a random time. And I think I based it off wherever the watch was stuck on. And so I constantly had to keep changing it because I knew I wanted, because it eventually matches up with the time when I think the name's Caleb, the main character, me. When I wake up later in the middle of the night, I wanted to obviously match up with that time because I thought that was spooky. And so I had to constantly keep changing the time because each time I shook this thing, the hands would move. So it went from like 320 to 315 to 307, and it just kept changing. It kept kind of pissing me off because I knew I needed to keep shaking it for things, but the time kept changing on me. So there's actually a comment on the video right now that says, "Oh, nice little homage to The Conjuring with 307." Completely unintentional. I had no idea that was the time in The Conjuring that it was 307. So shit like that happens. So yeah, wrote the script, sent it to Cody and Brian, saw what they thought. Cody helped me out a lot with the script and kind of just stripping things down, making it a lot easier. Pretty much no dialogue. I have dialogue in the actual script itself, which if you guys want to read, you can find that on the Discord on the Amateur Films Productions channel. It's on there if you just want to give it a read and show you what not to do. And then I normally what I always do, I storyboard. I have like a little notebook. You can see just some like really, really cheap, shitty storyboarding. I don't think you need to be a fantastic drawer. Just, do squares and circles and do all that stuff. So it just helps you out. It helps me visualize everything and what I wanted to do and whatnot. So all that out of the way, Pete Rich says, "Ooh, a geocaching horror short would be awesome." I still think I want to do something in that realm. I still think there's something interesting with geocaching, especially when, I don't think there's any short or horror stuff out there involving geocaching. So maybe someday. So getting into the edit itself, this was actually really fun to do. Compared to most timelines, it looks pretty simple. I mean, you may think, if you're not an editor and you see this, like, oh my God, all these things, this is pretty standard. Usually I know when things are getting crazy is when the timeline starts looking like a gun. For some reason, they always look like a gun to me. Even this, you can kind of see, like, here's the trigger, here's the silencer. I don't know. I kind of always think it in that regard. But yeah, it was just pretty straightforward. As soon as I shot the all the stuff, we shot like two days, I think. And I pretty much had the rough cut the next day. I was so excited about it. I got to it and started cutting it and whatnot. And the first thing that I wanted to try to do for this opening was to have the opening fanfare sort of do a little TikTok, little time stuff here. Little hands kind of, as a clock, because, clock goes one way or whatever. Something that I don't think I've ever shared. Let me try to pull this up. The actual fanfare itself, which is kind of cool. You bring up the After Effects. Now it's just a simple project that I purchased from some website and obviously edited it to have all the After Effects is probably gonna be real slow right now, but yeah, it's pretty simple. Like, all of it was built in and I just kind of plugged everything in. What you may not have realized is, like, all these little things, they go by so quick you can't really catch them all. And I actually just updated it for 2020 thinking this is going to be a great year. Not at all. But if you take a look at all these are all of the fucking clips. This took so goddamn long to do. Yeah, these are essentially just all the different clips. And it's just for, like, you see one for not even a second. It goes by so quick. Look how fast I mean, it's going to take a second to load. But I went through, like, all of our stuff, especially to update it with our most recent stuff that we did all of last year. It goes by so quick, and it took so long to do. All for, it shows 13 seconds, but it's probably a lot shorter than that. So, yeah, very happy with how, that kind of turned out and whatnot. So, yeah, in doing it, I wanted it to start turning because I thought that was actually really cool. And it turned out to be really cool. And I always in the script, I had it starting off with the ticking sound, and this is just a simple, it's really low right now. Kind of just found it, downloaded it for free. Thought it was pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff you can download for free. And then, of course, yeah, so I wanted it to start off right away. I always love the opening fanfare starting with, set the tone just a little bit of what we're kind of going in for. And if you caught it, the stopwatch or the watch itself is supposed to represent a heartbeat, essentially. So later on, spoilers, when you hear the start to slow down, that's the person dying. There it is. Ending explained. And then, of course, you get Alex's awesome score, Alex Marzonia. Don't forget the Enya. Yeah, he did a wonderful wonderful job. I asked him, I was like, hey, I've got an idea. Would you like to do a score? He was like, hell yeah, let's do it. He did it, and he fucking crushed it. And so the first thing I think he wrote was this piano part, which is beautiful. This might be one of my favorite things he's done for us. It's so simple. It's very whimsical. I think he wrote this with Pokemon in mind because it was still called Pocket Monster. And so I thought that was kind of cool. And then he's got these like cool pulsating like waves. Everybody on the dance floor. Sorry. And then you put it all together, and it sounds dope together. So then we get into the actual short. We open it up. Everything's going to be pretty simple. When we get here, open this up. I wanted the pocket watch to be loud for this part. And then when it opens up, this is kind of where like the movie starts. So I dipped it down to just have it more realistic. And then a lot of the sounds that I did were just Foley. I created a list, an audio list of everything that I wanted to get, and recorded everything separate. I did have a lav on. I'm not sure. Can you actually see it? You might be able to see it like right there. Just kind of for backup. I don't even know how much I ended up using. Like, this is ADR. Yeah, like a lot of it's ADR, and that's kind of typical. And then if we want to break this down, turn that on. So I typically, when Remsen sends me the color, this is the colored version that Remsen sends, I'll just turn everything off below, just in case if anything kind of skips over and you accidentally see it, which is never usually the case, but I just do it kind of just out of like paranoia. I'm a paranoid person, but turn that back on. There's before, there's after. Remsen just doing his magic. Remsen is honestly just one of the most talented dudes that we're very grateful to have come across, because I want to work with him forever. So yeah, I'll kind of all throughout this, I'll just like turn it on and off and show you what it looked like before. If you do want to know, any like nerds out there, we shot at a flat profile, Sony A7S Mark II. I don't even think it's called Mark II. I think it's just called A7S II. Most of everything we shot on like a 55 millimeter lens. Some stuff, a lot of the closer up things, was a 35 millimeter, and I think that's it. I think we kind of just switch back and forth. I believe this is on the 35. But yeah, as you can see here, there's a couple little Easter eggs. Obviously, you see the runner, vest, the Wanger W, which right now it's an M for monster because it's. I wanted to be really fucking obvious. And then, inside here, this is just literally like, what can I grab? What do I have around the house that I can use to just, build this thing out? And this is like just a legit case that I have full of junk and whatnot. Amber went to Disneyland before quarantine and stuff, and she got me the little Coke bottle that's like a bomb. So that's fun. Will McLean in the chat says, so is each color there represent an individual category, like music, effects, the footage? Yes and no. I try to be, pretty much. I try to be as organized as I can possibly be. Standard for me, like this color right here for music, I believe it's Caribbean. Yeah, so like I like having all the music and stings kind of the same colors. I think the best way that I learned over time, and I got kind of kicked in the ass for this I think it was Teddy, because that was like the first time I sent the sound off for Brian to actually mix it together. He was like, your timeline's all fucking out all over the place. And I was like, yeah, so? He's like, well, like your dialogue should be on one track, your sound effects another, music. And I was like, oh, I've never thought of it like that. So now, being the always striving to be a perfectionist and just be very organized, now I do that more than anything. Because before I would just like, oh yeah, I'll have the audio dip into the sound effect or something like that. But now I do it, everything's kind of layered. So there's going to be a lot more layers and whatnot. But coloring, look how pretty that looks. That looks really pretty. So you would have like purple here would be kind of the effect, even though there's no effects in this really. That's just the opening fanfare. The color here is just that's that color. Most of the footage is blue. This stuff, I think for the purplish stuff are more of the longer takes that I had, and the circle shot too. Images, this color, and then like this is dialogue. These are sound effects. These are more sound effects. So I try to be as organized as I possibly can be. I wonder if you can hear that. Sounded like the shower from next door was going off. So yeah, I like spicing it up and making it look pretty. Because if it's all one color, then it looks kind of boring, and it doesn't help me necessarily to like, oh, what's what. And here, it may look confusing to most, but I know like exactly which color is which. Not my most organized as far as colors go. Don't worry, I'll get it next time. I promise, I'll get it next time. So yeah, where the hell was I going with that? Before that, anyways, let's just keep going. Oh yeah. So this is just stuff. Yeah. So like literally here, Christmas lights, gift wrap stuff. There's like a little Nightmare Before Christmas tree in here. And then of course another Easter egg. This is literally the computer that I work on. The soundproof foam on the walls. My brother got me this cool Halloween little thing in my System of a Down CD right there. That's kind of cool. And then, of course, the Shape poster. The Shape poster was in the Stage 4 short film. I like to think of it as, if I am thinking of all of our stuff in kind of a connected universe, I like that idea. But the Shape, since it's a fan film, I like to think that's a movie within this world that's going on. And then you get to me. I don't like acting. I like doing sketches and stuff with like Cody and Brian because that's fun. But like serious acting is just, I hate it because it's just all like, gotta sell it. There's before and after. I mean, Remsen just really bringing that shit to life. All that ADR and Foley, like, just grabbed a mic and just rummaged around all of it. Same thing here. Kind of just reacting to it. Normally, like when we do ADR and stuff, when there was a studio, we would just go into the studio and do it there. That was a lot of fun. But now, just kind of, I sat on my computer here and had the microphone right in front of my mouth. And also, real quick, shout out to Brian Ward for coming up with the awesome graphic here. I don't remember I'm sure if I looked at the email, I'll see exactly. But he comes up with the best stuff. Like I come up with a list of kind of inspirations and I'll even send him the shorts. I don't even know if he actually watches them or not, but he just nails it every time. The first option he actually gave me was something I was hoping I should have specifically told him not to do because we planned on doing this. So he actually made this one, which is really fucking cool. He made the circle an actual watch, and I should have told him I didn't want him to do that because we were planning on before quarantine. We were planning on doing a short film where the circle had a graphic in it similar. So I didn't want to like repeat that. He made it anyways. I was like, I should have said not to because it's fucking cool. But I ended up going with the standard one just in case we, end up doing that other short film. I didn't want to keep doing the same thing over and over. All right. And then we get this shot. I actually really like this shot a lot, especially how it looks colored. So much more detailed. Get that contrast in there. I have a... I did pull it out, but I have another pocket watch that I was thinking about using, but because it did work, I was like, oh, this one doesn't work. So that fits more into this story because as soon as he finds the pocket watch, you can kind of see here, like the ticking is going. Very faint. You can barely hear it. Again, that's just like me fucking with the sound. And then as soon as I go, ooh, that's me kind of like pricking my finger on it. And then, as you can see here, the ticking stops. And when he pulls it out and he opens it up, he sees that it's stuck on one time. He's like, oh, why is it stuck on there? Maybe even I don't really even know the answer, but it's creepy nonetheless. And actually, funny story, hearing Cody laugh in the background, I remember after shooting it, I was kind of in here. I didn't have headphones on. I was kind of moving some stuff around the timeline. And then I stopped, and I heard ticking. I was like, I actually heard the ticking from the second pocket watch that I was thinking about using. I was like, God damn it. And I went and like found it, and I was like, oh, shut up. It's a lot, in the short film, it's a lot louder than what it really is, because it's actually very, very low. Like realistically, I would not be able to hear it from the other room. The idea is like this ticking noise is super annoying, and so this character is going to go and find it to, like, hey, what the hell? Like I don't know where this came from. But the design is pretty cool. It's just like a little dragon. I don't know. Thought it was kind of cool. The other one is actually a really cool design too. I'm pretty sure I bought the pocket watches for like another time travel-y type short films that I wanted to do back in the day. But yeah. So we keep on moving. My stupid thumbs. It's very, I don't know, like stressful. For me, it's stressful thinking about all the sounds, because like I want every single sound to be there. And so even as something as simple as like sitting down and the movement of that kind of just stresses me. I was like, oh, I got to get these. And then trying to make it match afterwards too is just a pain. I like that shot too. And then so you can obviously see here, stuck on 307. Keep going. There's me kind of fascinated. Here is where fucking up the watch a lot, because I have multiple takes where it's just different times. This is cool though, like getting the actual sounds of the stuff that's really there. It's just a lot of fun, like that actual shaking noise. Like, it's just cool. Like that's all it was. That's all it was. Really simple, really, really cool. Didn't have to go out of my way to like get different sound effects and whatnot. And then, booyah, we get the celery crack. So this was fun to do too. I had that idea in mind, and then when I sent off the like script to Cody, he's like, make it a fucking celery crack. I was like, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. That's exactly what it's gonna be. So then, similar to Stage 4, messed around with this as well. Let me take the bass off. This is what it sounds like without the bass. Really not that much of a difference. Put it back on. So I just give it a little bit more oomph. And then I panned it left because even though it's to his right, he's looking this way. And so when I play it, it's happening in another room somewhere too. So that's what gets his attention, obviously. All this was one shot right here. Footsteps are always fun. They're not that fun at all. Especially me trying to, like, I sat here for so long. Hey, look at the charger of the camera is in the background. For so long, just trying to match it up as much as I can. So that was fun. And also another Easter egg right here. There's the Stage 4 little dragon creature that we used as a prop. And then obviously that's the taken down set for Wangers. But this is cool. Amber, shout out to Amber for being very patient with me, especially doing this take. We did this take a lot of times. All the one take-ish stuff. Like she did that one, she did the circle shot, and then I did this second one we'll get to in just a little bit. Just over and over and over, making sure we got it exactly right. Even when she saw this one, she was like, do you want to like stabilize that? I was like, no, I kind of like it a little bit more. Like, okay, he's in a state of like, what is, not a panic, not necessarily, because I think my initial idea was like most of the stuff would be on tripod until he sees the pocket man. What did I call it? The ticking man, I think that's what I called him. then everything's handheld. Everything's more chaotic. I like that kind of contrast of like being calm. But here is just like kind of like a little bit of a tease because yes, it's a little bit wobbly, but it's not too chaotic, and it is pretty dark. Here's what it looked like before in the flat profile. It's also very hard if you're like ever going to use an A7S. It's also hard to tell. Like you're kind of gambling just a little bit because like this is what it looked like for me. I was like, great, and then when you get to the final product, it's like, oh shit, it's a little dark. But you don't want to. I don't know. Like I like this because this is how dark it is, and you kind of have to like concentrate to look all over the place. It could be a little bit darker. I could have lit it a little bit better, but I didn't want it to be fake either. You know, I wanted to make it as realistic as possible. Oh yeah, there's another. See if I can zoom in on that. Not much, but that's like my water bottle that I'm drinking out of right now. It's got a Wanger's logo on it. Another Easter egg. Boom. There you go. All the Easter eggs and anything explained. So this is cool as I'm walking. Very subtle. So that's going to come into play a little bit later. That is me just, I have wood floor. I have carpets in the bedrooms, wood floor kind of in the main living room and into the kitchen. And I just found spots in the living room where I would just step on it and make this noise. And so what I would do is I would try to put more pressure, less pressure, just to get different sounds out of it. And I don't think I did it with this one, not yet, but later on, similar to what I did. Again, all these projects, I'm doing the same shit just in different ways. Because when we get some more of these sounds a little bit later, I slow the speed down, or I slow it down in general, or speed it up, depending on like kind of the mood of what I'm going for. So, walking on the floor, I'm gonna throw in another one right here. So, the reason why I put the two creaks here and then right here is actually kind of important because when he comes and steps on it right here, that's going to come back and play into the short film later. And then right here, it's also going to kind of come back in just a second. Really, really small details, maybe like, you know, it's not like vital to it, but these are kind of things that I'm actually thinking of when I'm shooting these things, because as opposed to just saying what's going on, I like the visual and maybe even audio aspects of telling the story of like, oh, this you're going to hear that in just a little bit come back, and it may not like strike you as like, oh, well, that's a callback to this, but for me at least, as I'm watching, I'm like, they connecting the dots, because again, this is something that I would like seek out to want to watch, and yeah, it's just kind of shit that I like. Close up here. Let's look at the before and after. That's before, after, before, after. Just looks, I love it. That shot was fun to do too. And even getting the sound. I pretty much just added a lot of bass to a lot of everything. Gotta get that. Oh, let me take this solo off. It's me walking away. And then we get to the circle shot, the one that almost ruined Amber and I's relationship. So again, there it is. There's a kind of a little callback. Maybe that was like one too many, but similar to the one that happened before at the start, kind of in that same area. Him on his way back to his bedroom makes a little bit creaky noise, and that's going to happen around in this area when he wakes back up. But yeah, so I'm not going to shy around this one. We shot this so many fucking times because what I wanted is what you see in the short film. It pans from him there, and then all the way to the living room just to kind of sit there for a few seconds. That wasn't the case. I mean, we got pretty close. And it just got to a point where it's like, okay, we can cheat it a little bit. And this shot is cheated. So you can see the nest here. There are two different shots kind of combined together. As you can see, this is what it actually looks like. I'm giving away all the secrets, baby. You'll be able to tell right about in this area. See if you can see it. You see it? You see it? There's a little bit of a faster movement, and it's a subtle jolt. I notice it every time because I've watched it so many goddamn times, but maybe you can see it. You guys catch it? It is very subtle, and I'm happy that nobody was really kind of pointing it out, but I'm not gonna shy away from it. As long as you thought that it was all in one shot, then fine by me. Now here, let's see if you can tell. God damn, that's not bad. You can't even really tell that much because here, I'll show you what it. All right, hold on. Let me save because I'm about to fuck up the timeline here. But let me show you what the shot really looked like. See? I'll show you one more time. So there was a little bit like it was so fucking cool. I remember like cuz back when, let me undo that real quick cuz I don't want to come back and it's all fucked up. So what happens here, Amber is behind the camera. She's shooting and she's following me along here. I go, close the door. As soon as she passes there, she yells out, "Okay." And then I come out to come to the monitor and try to see the progress of the actual shot. And then we get to it. And so when she got to this part, so I saw it happen. I was like, yes, yes, yes. Oh, fuck. I don't think I said anything in the background or anything, but it was just like, oh, so close. And by then, who knows how many times we got it, or like we had actually shot it. So there's just a little bit of a dissolve and stop. So I basically got to where it comes back and dissolved it together. So this is on the dissolve, so it's so faint you can barely even tell. But I'm happy the way it came out. Regardless if we had to cheat it, hey man, there's a lot of one takes out there where they have to cheat it sometimes just to give the illusion that it is all in one take, and that's what we ended up doing. Fortunately, it was the only time that we did that for this one. And I also thought, look at the difference in color. Before, after. Especially here. I love that we did these kind of candles here. And I love this shot. You may be able to notice or not. There's a couple of times. I don't think that's one right here, but I don't know. There's a couple like spots in the actual short film that I think either like are from my lens or from the camera itself, but that kind of burned me out a little bit. Before, after, like, look how lit and bright it is here. Amber has so many fucking shoes. Just too many shoes. Like, I have like 3 pairs. You don't need that many. Seriously. Like, look, that, it's like all that. Like, here's 1, 2, I think like 3 of mine and sandals. Everything else in this section is hers. But she's the queen. She's the queen. That's what it looks like afterwards. I think, so when Redson was coloring, he had like a cool idea of changing the color a little bit, kind of going from a warmer color from when things are a little bit more safe to a colder to when things kind of get scarier. I love the idea, but I think it was just a little bit too distracting when he was kind of trying things out. So we kind of just stuck with the more colder stuff because I do like that kind of color. So we sit on here, and this is where this is cool. So very subtle, but so first of all, this is in camera shadow here. I say in camera because we did some shadow at the end that was in post. But yeah, that's the idea of the ticking man getting closer to the watch. And the way I envision that is the creature kind of like reaching out to kind of grab the pocket watch, because whatever this thing is, it was summoned by Caleb because he's a fucking idiot. He can't take a little bit of TikToks. So then, in here, so we get more creaking. And this is, again, similar to stage 4. This is me messing with the pans. This is left. Then we get right. And then, I think in the middle. Yeah. Also, we got some footsteps here. So, pretty simple. I think these are pretty bassy. Yeah, you got some, like, 10 decibels in there. Yeah, and this is just the creature stepping forward. And then, similar to things in the past, oh, that's not slowed down. Which one was slowed down? I thought I slowed these ones down. Really? Maybe, oh, this one was. This can't be true. I could have swore I slowed these fuckers down. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, fucking A. Maybe they were the ones later on. This had to have been slowed down. It sounds like it's slowed down. Oh, maybe it's because it's an audition. Maybe. So I'm pretty sure I slowed these down. Regardless. Then we get more crackling. Oh, this one's slowed down here. It might not show that it's slowed down because I threw it into audition for some additional stuff. Reaching out. And then here comes the ticking sound once again. Again, 307. Did not intend it to match up with The Conjuring. Had no idea that that was the actual time. But hey. So this is me behind the camera. This was one of the first shots that I thought of that I knew I wanted to get. So it cuts to black. You hear the ticking. Oh, there's a spot. You can see a spot right there. That's annoying. And then the ticking is essentially what wakes me up. And that is actually Amber under the bed. That is not me. And Amber was originally going to be like the Ticking Man too. She dressed up in it and everything, but she was like, I'm too small. Like your shoulders are big and scary, stupid, dumb looking, so you should be in it. She didn't say that, but you know, she might as well have. Ugh, acting. It's me getting up. You can see a spot right here. It's fucking annoying. And then it's just me noticing the door. I think this was a reshoot. That's why I think that it is a reshoot, because I think originally it was supposed to be blue, then I reshot it, and then I had Remsen recolor it. And I'll show you guys I'll show you a little deleted scene. So the ticking's going, got some regular sounds here. So I originally had a shot. It was just a little confusing. I ended up taking it out. Shout out to Brad Stowell. Because I think I asked, because I sent it to him. He gave me some cool advice on a couple of things, and I think he even in there said, like, yeah, you probably don't need it. Because I think Brian was like, did the monster? I'll show you and then I'll explain it. So let me find an old one. In an old that's every editor's worst nightmare is seeing that. So in here in the original, yeah, here we go. In the original, I had this scene in here. He gets up, and then I had this cool idea of like following the phone cord to the floor and then to the wall to be like, uh-oh, it's unplugged. Because that comes back when I run back into the room and I pull up the cord and I look at it. I'm like, oh, shit, it's unplugged. But I don't know. I think Brian was kind of confused. Like, I think he was saying, like, did the creature go in there and do it? But I think the idea that I had in my head was that he forgot to plug it in. But there's nothing else to really indicate of him plugging in the phone in the first place. And the only reason why I wanted the phone in it to begin with, because I wanted it just to be like, oh, call someone, call someone for help. And then the suspenseful moment of like, oh, it's unplugged. You can't call anybody, So maybe I could have done it without the phone and just him running in the house or running into the bedroom just to try to get out of things. But that's kind of where I went with. But yeah, little deleted scene. Did not end up making it in. I think it works fine. As soon as he stands up. So obviously, no creeks right there. He must have walked past it, but it's gonna come back. Bringing back. I like Alex's naming here. Pulsating Atom Driver. Spoopy. Spoopy? Did he meant to say spooky? Maybe he said spooky. But yeah, pulsating waves and then what's pulsating Atom Driver? It's good shit. I like it. And there's that very subtle building up. And then got a bunch of stings that I like. That help lead right into it, and obviously kind of cross into that so it fades in pretty nicely. And then yeah, we get the creature shot. Yeah, kind of peeking a little bit there, but yeah, I just that visual of him just kind of watching the watch go back and forth, and that's me in there. Let's go the before and after route here. That's what it looked like before. Look at the fucking difference, man. Look at that fucking difference. Look how that's me in my head. I'm like, oh fuck, this looks cool. And then Remsen comes in and she's like, oh, hold my beer. Boom. Look at that. You can't even see all of Amber's fucking shoes. Maybe this is an allegory for just me wanting to throw away all of her shoes. I don't know. But super cool. I think, and this was the shot where I was like, okay, this needs to work or else the whole short film doesn't work. And it was the first thing that I shot and tested. Let's see if I can find. I'm afraid to. There's a little home move. No, I'm kidding. Because I know Amber doesn't want to be shown in some of these things. Let's see. This is me stupid test shots. I think I still had a mustache too then. See, or if I can find it. Yeah, so this is me. I think this is. Oh, it's loud. It's like during the day. It's me with the air condition on. Me during the day trying to. So this is just like every other short film that we do, just like an immense amount of testing. Gotta have 3 folders worth of testing stuff. I forget which one, but I had one in here. Yeah, this is more testing with Amber. That's where we really got into a fight. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I don't know exactly where it is, but that was the kind of first. Again, yeah, like this is the most important shot. If this didn't work, then there was no point in doing it because I didn't know if it was gonna be goofy or anything like that. And I wanted it to be effective, so I think it worked out. And then the shot, I like this shot too. You can barely see it, but it's a callback to later. Here's me doing the, oh, what? What is this? And then, let me turn that up, sorry. Bringing back the creaking, and that's what gets his attention. Again, call back to earlier when stepping in that area, just to keep it consistent. I like that. So you can't see it in here, just looks like a hooded figure, but if we do the before and after, still can't really even see it. I posted a photo of it in the Amateur Films Production Slack, the channel. But it's just like a witch a witch robe with a plague doctor mask that I bought a long time ago for something else. And we kind of put it together, and I was like, yeah, that looks cool. That works. Hell yeah. And then we get. This is me saying watch. But I threw it into. Oh, that's not what I meant. Oh, yeah. Let's go here. Yeah, so I did throw it into. What did I do? Let me try. I wonder if I saved it anywhere. That's me throwing it into Audition. It'll take too long. And then throwing on a. What kind of filter was it? Basically just manipulating the fucking audio. The pitch, there you go. Pitch something. It's something with the pitch because you can range it up and down. Oh shit! Look at Harley Payne in the chat. Harley Payne says reminds me of Hypno. Fuck. Oh, This whole thing could have just been about Hypno. Dang, and then I could have called a Pocket Monster. God damn, I'm going to text Cody that right now. God, that's great. Harley Payne, that's fucking amazing. God damn, I'm reshooting it. He should have been yellow. God, I'm going to play Pokemon now. But that's fantastic. This whole short film is about fucking Hypno. I'm going to text it to Cody right now. Hold on. God damn it. That's so... I'll text to him later. I'm doing a live stream, God damn it. Okay. Shout out to Harley Payne. That's great. But let me see if I can find... Oh, I did a video. Here's what I originally sound like. Let's see. Go here. Doorknob. No, that's doorknob. You're getting me all mixed up here, sir. Oh, here it is. So here are the couple different options that I did. Watch. Release the Hypno cut. Watch. It's pretty cool. Kind of like little homage to some of my favorite like metal bands and like high-pitched screamers and shit. You know, just doing it like a soft whisper one. So I see that. I freak out. This is where chaos happens. Great movement. I think that was like the first time. No, that wasn't the first time, but like we practiced it a couple of times, and then when Amber did this one, it was just like, boom, that's it. No need to do any more. And this I kind of struggled with too because I didn't know, you know, if we needed something more like bum, 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 with the music. I thought about like doing just silence where just you just kind of hear his voice and everything kind of drowns out. But I still wanted the pocket watch. You can't even fucking hear it, but I pretty much from when the second the pocket watch starts over here, it plays out to the end, and it just gets louder and louder and louder. Again, to represent the heartbeat, you know, themes, whatever. I don't know. It's not a theme. Yeah, going around. I think Remsen said he had a tough time with this one because the clock, because this is obviously my apartment, mine and Amber's apartment. So the clock that we have here, if you see right here, there's like a little laser that projects to the ceiling. So basically, when you're laying down and you wake up, the first thing you see on the ceiling is the time. It's very... Amber saw it. She's like, I like that. So I don't have to, like, look over the clock. And so Remsen kind of had a hard time. I didn't notice it when he colored it. Let me see, hold on, let me do... Because what he kept, like, seeing was, like, a little flash of red. Let me see if we can see it. I mean, obviously you see it right there. But maybe it's like that. You see that? Maybe that's what he was seeing. How cool is that when you slow shit down? That's fucking badass. Let me see. This is what it originally looked like. Yeah, that's all it must have been. But yeah, he was like, I don't know what that red thing is. It was like, oh shit, sorry, that's the fucking clock. And so throwing back to that scene that I deleted, he comes to his phone and he realizes that, oh shit, it's dead. And then he pulls it up. There's all my dialogue. My sick dialogue. Shit. Yeah. Because I think before, when he comes out and sees it, he's like, who the fuck are you? Like fucking tough guy? Yeah, it didn't do that. Didn't end up working out. It would have been too cheesy. Very faint, but you can hear some tapping on the phone. Oh yeah, all this too. That was me just like literally running with the fucking mic in my hand and getting all those sounds. I love doing all this. I love getting the sounds for the doorknob. Shaking it like fucking crazy. And then it's just the character getting scared. Getting all nice and scared. He doesn't know what to do. He's freaking out. And then he finds a watch. Or not a watch. He finds a flashlight. Not the same flashlight from the runner, but a different one. unlocking. Another one of my favorite shots is this one. I fucking love that. Let me put it on full. I love that. I think that's creepier than seeing the whole creature flicking the watch back and forth. It's just such a cool shot. So happy that we pulled that off. I believe that's Amber holding the camera, and that's me in the fucking thing just praying to God that this all looks cool. Let's go and isolate these. It's just the doorknob. And then coming back there. I believe that this is... I don't think I slowed this one down. I won't be able to tell, but this is just the door. Yeah, that's legit. I didn't slow that one down. And I guess that's supposed to be hitting this side of the wall. Yeah. And the timing here worked out really, really cool. So I put a little post zoom right there. Just something a little subtle. But I like that. I love the cut of the music as it passes by. It's so cool. He's like, oh, what? Why is it not working? And then this is when the creature is starting to walk closer to him. Obviously, it's faint right now. That's kind of like the creature moving. It moves closer. And the whole reason why he puts his hands over his ears is because the ticking basically just gets louder and louder. You can barely hear it, but the music kind of drowns it out just a little bit. And here again, creature walking back and forth. You hear it on the left side, then the right, then to the left again. All while these sounds are just getting louder and louder. Just the tiny little details. And then we get to our final shot. Yeah. So I love when the music kind of fades out right there, and then so when this crack happens, this is a cool crack. Yeah. So the cracks here are slowed down. Like the way I like to think about it, obviously now that I'm thinking about it as if it were a hypno, it's kind of different now. But when I was thinking about it, I was thinking like this crack here is like something opening up, like a giant mouth or whatever. You can think of it however you want. That's kind of like I envision it. Or it's like growing or just grotesquely moving towards them. And then you get another watch. So this is cool. This is something that I did a little last minute. Oh, I'm adding some dialogue there. Some no. What happened there? It looked like something just happened. And then another reverb out. Yeah. So that it all comes together for one final. And then again, represent heartbeat. Slower and slower as we fade out. Well, I don't fade out, but very, very cool. Very cool. And the titles, again, Brian Ward helped out with the logo, and so I just mirrored the credits with that. Shout out to Amber. Shout out to everybody. This was a lot of fun to work on. I don't think I was missing anything. And I just thought for fun, I was letting this music kind of draw out. Just one little So that's Pocket Watch. One's titled Pocket Monster. The whole point of doing this one, we're in quarantine, we're stuck. I just wanted to find a way to keep the creative juices flowing somehow. And the idea was simple enough. It started off a little bit more grander. Is that a word? A little bit more grand and, going to all these different places and shooting different things. And then we just cut it down to be a hell of a lot more simple. And sometimes that's just the best way to go. Keep it simple, stupid, you know? Harley Payne, man, the sound in this is just phenomenal. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Pete Rich, very cool. Thanks for doing this, Christian. Thank you guys for watching live. If you are watching on the playback, once again, leave a like on the Patreon post so I know y'all are engaging. If you want to leave a question or just comment on the thread itself, I'm going to read it. I'll answer. We'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on this. But yeah, just, you know, go out there, make some cool shit, man. You know, even if you don't have cameras, you know, if you have a phone, anything that you can shoot on and you want to be creative or write, you know, write. We're all stuck inside, you know, keep writing, keep doing whatever way of expressing your art is the way to go about for you. Like doing it right now is like the best time to do it. It may be hard. I find it hard sometimes to get motivated a little bit more because of like, there's so much negativity going on. But you got to just kind of find your moments and just choose your battles. Pick and choose your battles a little bit, you know. Just the second you feel motivated and you have the time to do it, just, you know, do your creative shit. That's all Pocket Watch is, you know. This isn't like, you know, something like it was written, shot, edited all within like a month or two in hopes to just kind of like, here's what we did in quarantine. Boom, here it is, you know. Yeah. You know, if we're stuck like this for a little longer, trying to work on another one, might be doing another short film, if some things just pan out right. And if Brian's up for it, he might be in it, so we might try something. But yeah, this is all going to depend on where we're going to be in the next few months. But thank you, everybody, for watching this. I hope this was insightful for everyone. Hope this was entertaining enough if you are watching on the playback. Once again, leave a comment on that post. I'd love to hear from you. Hit me up on the Discord. Whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm here. Make sure everybody stays safe. I'm going to go get some food. I'm hungry. I don't know what I want to eat yet. I appreciate y'all for joining me on the live stream here. And yeah, shout out to Remsen, Cody, Brian, Alex, Brian Ward, Amber for helping me out with this thing. Very proud of it. And yeah, stay frosty.